3704 was an ordinary engine, running an ordinary branch line, living an ordinary life. It was the last of his kind, alone. He was never popular and had his own shed at one part of the branch line. Ever since 1962, passenger numbers had been dropping. His line was cut under the Beeching Act, and he had now been sent for scrap. He was sat in Mill scrapyard, the only engine there, cold and alone with no fire to keep him warm, no driver to keep him company, until one day, this day, on Halloween night, he had a visitor, but not one he had ever seen before. It was a man. He was wandering around the yard, but not as how one would expect. He seemed to float above the rails, his legs not moving an inch as he roamed around the empty yard. 3704 shivered as he observed the figure move around the yard, his buffer beam trembling as the mysterious character slowly turned around. He was pale white. He looked dead, his eyes hollow as if he had nothing inside him. 3704 closed his eyes in shock. "No! Go away!" he said with a cry. He reopened his eyes. The figure was gone. Or so he thought. He looked around the yard, the rain pattering down on him, the fog hard to see through. Suddenly, another engine, fully steamed, could be heard coming from the other side of the yard. "3704 quivered as the old engine approached. It got closer and closer and closer, and then nothing. It was gone. In its place, the figure was turned away, as if guarding 3704. However, something was different. This figure was not the same, but he did not move apart from looking around the yard. But he didn't sway in the strong, bitter wind. He just stayed, looking around. His clothing looked familiar to 3704. He suddenly recognized. "Driver?" he asked quietly over the wind. No reply. 3704 closed his eyes and tried to sleep, but he was too cold and curious. He opened his eyes and saw the other figure was now further away, still back turned to the curious lonely loco. Then, to the loco's horror, he looked down. His driver was dripping wet, a solid square puddle of water underneath him. 3704 sobbed quietly. He once overheard the foreman reading from a newspaper. "Driver drowns in water tank," the article read. As 3704 now knows which driver that was. He cried sadly, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, 3704, said his driver, and he disappeared